Mewdii, people. Woo! Hold on. Now we about to cry already. Hold on. Okay. Almost got me crying on the internet. Today's video is going to be a bit different. I just wanted to basically come on here and tell you all about my family's journey with multiple myeloma. Today is March 30. Today is March 30th, which means it is National Multiple Myeloma Day, and I figured what better day than today than to tell the story, you know, at least from my perspective. So I'm gonna try to get through this without cussing and without crying. No promises whatsoever. I did my makeup in hopes that it'll force me, whenever my makeup is done, I'm less likely, well, I try harder to not cry so I don't mess it up. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you all about our journey with multiple myeloma and what's going on now. All right, so I wrote down the timeline. Sorry. I wrote down the timeline so that I don't forget anything and I can kind of keep you all on track with what has happened. So in order to start, we got to go back to Lent/Passover season 2022. So as y'all can hear now, my voice is a bit, if you watch my other video, well actually no, because this one's gonna go up first, so scratch that. But I always get sick when the weather changes. It really hit me hard this year. Side note, when I went to Mexico and came back, I was down and out. But this happens every year, especially since I have allergies. When the seasons kind of go back and forth, that's when I really feel it. You know, my allergies flare up. I get the sinus headache, the cough, and all that. So I said all that to say that this was happening, of course, in 2022. And the interesting part about it is that my dad also wasn't feeling well, which was not normal, because aside from, like, you know, an occasional ache or pain in his knee or his foot or whatever, he's usually pretty good. But two of the things that I definitely remember is that he was always short of breath and always tired. I thought it was his asthma, even though he likes to say that he doesn't have asthma, but he got a pump. I thought it was his asthma. I'm like, okay, sit down, you know, take it easy, take your pump, and then, you know, you'll get back on track. It was at a point where he was even taking naps. And if you know my dad, he don't sleep. He likes to be up and doing whatever, whether it's working, watching a movie or something, anything. He's always up. So that was one of the, like, light bulb alarm things, especially in my head, that I had noticed. So he eventually got to go see the doctor. They ran some tests. I'm looking at my phone. Like I said, I wrote down the timeline. Ooh. I was gonna start crying. Had to pause. He ended up getting some tests done. I don't want to lie or say the wrong thing. I think he got an EKG. I know they did some blood work. They did a couple of tests. I really can't remember them all. I'm not really a fan of the medical field anyway. When I hear stuff, it kind of makes me cringe and get the ick, just because I'm a little squirmy. But basically, he got some tests done. And one of the tests that he got done, he ended up getting a call, and the doctor was like, you need to go to the hospital now and get a blood transfusion. So I'm just like, what? Okay. Alarm number 2, or whatever alarm that was, light bulb number 2. So they did the blood transfusion, you know, got his levels good, but they were still monitoring him because they couldn't figure out what the issue was. So then the doctor called again. I was actually eavesdropping when I heard this. I was in the family room waiting to leave out. I had somewhere to go, and the doctor had called. And I heard my dad call for my mom to come down. Whenever the doctor is involved, my mom is always there to, you know, help. Not say that my dad doesn't understand, but, you know, help them understand, take notes, ask the right questions and everything. So when he called and my dad called for my mom to come down, I was like, oh, I'm listening to this conversation. So basically they had, hold on. Whew. Okay. I almost had a moment again. But they called, they said he needed a biopsy. So they went ahead and did that. I was too scared to go because, like I said, I don't like the doctor, hospitals, anything to do with that type of nature. But I was on FaceTime. I don't want it to seem like, oh, I wasn't involved. I was just a punk. I was scared, and like I said, I don't like that. Ooh, like I said, I don't like the hospital. So I was on FaceTime while my mom and my sister and my dad were in the hospital while he was getting his biopsy. And after that, it was basically, you know, the waiting game, waiting to see what the results said, so we could figure out our next move. Oof, hold on. Got my tissue so I don't mess up my face. So that all happened between March and May. So we were dealing with this for a while, trying to figure out, you know, what was wrong with him. Because by that time, I had gotten better, you know. I wasn't having, you know, those flare-ups. My asthma was bothering me. I wasn't feeling as sick or anything. So I was good, but we were still trying to figure out, you know, what was wrong with my dad. Because we thought that he was experiencing the same thing that I was. So, fast forward to June 1st. I don't know if I'm, like, psychic. I'm saying that to joke so I don't laugh, but something in my body knew that June 1st was going to be a day, to say the least. I remember the day like it was yesterday. I remember it very vividly. For some reason, oh, hold on. Okay. For some reason, I could not sleep that night. I was just up tossing and turning. I was up since like 2 or 3, and that was an in-office day. I had to be in the office that day, and I was so tired. I was not feeling it, but you know, I got up still feeling uneasy. My heart was racing. I was like, Lord, what is it? Whatever it is, bring it to my attention so I can address it and figure out how to move on. But all day was rough. Even at work, my crew at work, we usually order breakfast together when we're in the office. I was so uneasy that I didn't even want that. I was like, I just want to sit here, get through the day, and go home. Because that was my last day of being in the office. The rest of the week, I was home. I was jittery, shaky, couldn't sit still, kept having to pee. And I'm just like, Lord, what is it? Like, nothing's happening at work. This is like a somewhat normal day for work. You know, I'm okay. I'm not expecting anything coming up. So what is the issue? It was to the point where I even tried to force. I was like, maybe I need to eat. I ordered Chick-fil-A. I didn't get Chick-fil-A for breakfast like I was supposed to. I ordered Chick-fil-A for lunch, and I still didn't eat it. I didn't want it. So then I went and I sat in my car for a little while just talking and praying. I'm like, Lord, I don't know what it is, but my heart won't stop racing and my mind won't start racing. They were just both competing for who can go faster. And I'm like, you know what? The day's almost over. We can go home. We can chill. So 4 o'clock comes. I'm off. I'm running home, because that's what I always do in office days. I'm literally racing to get back into bed. And I don't know. It was just, I didn't know that something was wrong, but I just knew that, again, it was an off day. So GPS said I would get home at 4:34. I got home at 4:32. I don't know if it was meant for me to get home that early that day. I guess that's how God had it planned. But I came in the house and they were waiting for me, and my sister was on the phone. Oof, hold on. So coming in the house to see my parents in my dad's office and my sister on the phone, and they look like they were waiting for me when I came in. I was like, what is it? So my dad was the one who told us. He basically said it was the worst case scenario, and we were all like, what if he has, we didn't want to say it out loud, but we were all thinking, you know, what if he has cancer? And oof, hold on. I'm not supposed to be crying on Beyonce's internet. Get it together. He told us that he had multiple myeloma, and basically said that it was a type of cancer. And honestly, I couldn't tell you what he said after that, because in my head, all that kept echoing was cancer, cancer, cancer. Like, it just kept echoing in my head, and I was like, are you serious? Like, really? My daddy of all people? You want to give him cancer? Like, no, I don't accept this. But apparently my body knew that I was upset, because while I wasn't saying anything, it was just like a constant stream of tears. Like, I was just crying. I wasn't sobbing. I wasn't like, I was literally just sitting there, just silent with tears falling as they were explaining. I need a new tissue. Hold on. So, where was I? Yes. So after he told us, it was like, I couldn't move, couldn't talk, couldn't anything. All I could do was just stand there and cry, because I was like, what do you mean you have cancer? Like, you're my daddy. You're supposed to be invincible. You're not supposed to have cancer. But he did. And they broke the news to us. And after that, I went and I took probably the biggest of my life. I have a nervous stomach. So, well, not... People say that your stomach is tied to your emotions, and I feel like it's times 10 with me, because whenever I'm feeling something, I always feel it in my stomach. And my stomach was so upset, I could not stop going to the bathroom. So as I was sitting on the toilet, I texted my people. I texted Brittany because she, of course, was concerned since I wasn't myself at work. I text Brittany, I text Naja, I text Tamika, and then the following day, another Brittany had hit me and said, hey, are you okay? What's going on with your dad? And I was like, well, since you asked, he has cancer. And yeah, that was basically it. But after that, when I tell you I was in hiding, it's not funny, but it is. But I hid from my parents in my own house. If y'all don't know, I do still live at home. But yeah, after that, I was like, I can't look at them. How am I supposed to look at the people, especially my dad, who I consider to be the strongest people in my life and in the world, and know that you're sick? I don't want to say weak, but know that you have an ailment. I literally could not look at them without, bawling or just being upset or anything. So I hid. It was at a point where my dad had called me and he was like, hey, I haven't seen you in a few days. Where are you? What are you doing? And I was just like, oh, I've just been busy with work. I haven't really left the computer or the room and blah, blah, blah. Mind you, it was in my head. I would get up early. It was only 2 days. It was, so we found out Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I would get up early, go downstairs and work, and then wait till I did not hear them on the maid level. And then I would haul my upstairs to hide in my room. I hid, I didn't eat, I didn't talk to anybody. I was just in hiding, and it was unfortunate because like I said, this happened, we found out June 1st. June 3rd was my mom's birthday, and I don't want to say that it was ruined, but it was kind of like a damper, like, dang, we just found out he got cancer, but happy birthday. It was hard. It was hard, especially for me. I was actually very grateful that my parents decided to go out to celebrate, because that left me and my sister in the house to kind of, talk and digest our feelings and understand. And I told her, I was like, this is the first time I've seen them since we found out. And she was like, oh really? I was like, yeah, I have been hiding because I can't look at them. Every time I look at them, or every time I think about looking at them, like, I feel like a shooting pain in my chest and I get sad. No, I can't do that. So then, Sunday. So, like I said, when I first found out, I didn't really have a reaction. It was just a slow trickle of tears. Like, it was a slow constant. Like, I was never not crying. Even when I was in the bed, I was always crying. If I was working, I was crying. I was just always crying. So, it was like a dam. You know how when you have a dam and it's just like that constant trickle or flow of water going through or across whatever the dam. So I don't know what the proper term for it is, but whatever a dam, you know how the dam has the constant trickle of water going? That's how my eyes were for like 3 days, just constantly crying. So Sunday comes, and it's first Sunday, and I did not want to be there. I was scared that, he was gonna make an announcement, and I was like, I can't live through this again. So I made a plan, and it made sense in my head, but you can't make a plan and not include God, because God got the ultimate plan. So my plan was to get there late and then to leave right after offering, because I was scared that he was going to announce it, and I knew I couldn't handle it. So I got to church, I'm gonna say like 9:07. First thing, I see my cousin and my uncle. I see my cousin April and my uncle Tony in the lobby. And I was like, ooh, sorry. I was like, dang. I was like, I'm gonna cry because why are you guys here? You guys, I mean, they come, don't say that. They don't not come, but for y'all to come on this Sunday after we just found out, because my dad, he also told his family that day. After he told us, he got on Zoom with his family and told them, hold on. So when I saw them, I knew that something was up. And I don't know if they had started late that day or what, but when I came in, they hadn't even read the scripture yet. So I was like, well, okay. I wish I could remember. I'm gonna see if I can go back and find it. Hold on. No, that's gonna take too long. But my dad had basically read this scripture. It was a scripture about, I want to say it was about healing or something. And when he read it, you know, he read it regular. And then he said, let me read it again. And when he read it, he substituted the subject, the person, with Alan. So he was like, Alan went, blah, blah, blah. And when he did that, I was like, oh God, it's coming. And I couldn't figure out how to escape because I was just frozen. Because I knew it was coming, but I didn't know what to do. So after he did that, he basically told the church, he was like, I want to share with you all that I, you know, heard from the doctor and I have multiple myeloma. And that dam, remember that dam I was telling y'all about, burst. I lost it. When I tell you, I was feeling everything and anything all at the same time, like at once. Like, I don't even remember like what happened. I just know I lost it. I think my sister was there trying to comfort me. My mom was there. My aunt was there. I could not get it together because him saying it in front of all those people, it just made it real. And I was, in my head, I'm still like, no, not my daddy. My daddy don't have cancer. No way. But yeah, that dam burst completely. Like, when I tell you that dam was empty by the time we were done, because I had cried so much. I think I needed it though, because again, I didn't really address it when he said it. He said it, I said, okay, cried, and I hid. I didn't really address, you know, what this meant for him or our family, or, you know, what the next steps are going to be. But yeah, then I want to say it was that Monday or Tuesday, he was already in for his first round of chemo. I didn't go because again, I was scared. Yeah, that's just all I can say. I was scared. My mom and my sister went, and you know, they called me, sent me pictures and everything, but I couldn't do it. I wasn't ready yet. I wasn't ready to go and, you know, face that. I'm calling it a demon. I wasn't ready to face that demon. I just like, you know, I'm just gonna stay over here, try to deal with this my own way. And I really shouldn't have, because side note, I was in therapy, but if I admit this, then my therapist sees this, she's gonna get on me. But it was to the point where I didn't want to talk. I was like, I can't talk. I can't, you know, process this. I need to be by myself. So I did fall out of therapy. I wish that I hadn't, because I feel like I could have found better techniques through her to learn how to cope and deal with it. I dealt with it my own way. You know, I was hiding. I was eating junk because I was hiding because I didn't want to come out my room. So I was eating whatever junk was in my room. I was taking medicine to try to, I don't want to say, I was taking stuff to basically numb me, make me forget. So if it was anxiety medicine, I was taking it. If it was Benadryl or NyQuil, I was taking it. If it was CBD or anything of that nature, I was taking it, because I didn't want to feel anything. I didn't want to feel those feelings. I didn't want to address them. And I knew that, I know now that that was an issue, obviously, but then that was the only way that I knew how to deal with it. I was just like, I'm stuck, and that was the only thing. I was okay, stay in your room and do this and that, and I did. After that, sorry, got off topic. So that was basically what started the year-long process of chemo, blood transfusions, lab work, tests, doctor's visits, all of that. We did December, I want to say it was December of 2022. We did go down to the hospital to, excuse me, learn more about the stem cell transplant option and basically how that would work. Again, I'm not into the whole health department or whatever category, so I don't really know what all went into the process as far as, you know, how the stem cell works and, you know, how it heals, basically what the point of it is. But all I knew was that it would make him better, so I was for it. We decided to, well, not, I'm gonna say we, because we as a family, we decided to go ahead and go that route and do the stem cell transplant. He was originally supposed to have it earlier in the year. I want to say it was like May he was supposed to have it, but it ended up getting postponed. And what's crazy is it got postponed to the week of my trip. I was going to the DR with my girls and it got postponed, and I was like, okay, how are we gonna make this work? My dad kept saying, go, I'll be fine. And of course, you know, I wanted to go, but I don't know, I was conflicted. I was struggling, trying to be supportive, you know, not show him my fear, because it's one thing for me to be scared and I'm not even dealing with it. I didn't want to project my emotions or what I was feeling on him. I wanted to be strong so that he could be strong. So that's what I had to do. But he decided to go ahead and have the transplant, and it's so crazy because he had a lot of, I guess, pre-op stuff he had to do to prepare. And the side effects were, I'm not going to go into detail because that's his business, but the side effects were not nice to him. And it was to the point where it was literally 2 days before the trip, and I was like, oh, I'm not going, my daddy needs me, I'm not leaving him. And my mom was like, Morgan, it'll be okay, go on your trip and have fun, and you could see him when you get back. So I went on the trip, had my fun, FaceTimed them every day while they were in the hospital. His transplant was the actual day that we came home. So he was there, he checked in, I think, on a Monday. Yeah. And then his transplant surgery was that Wednesday we were coming home. Obviously, everything went well. As scared as I was still there. I visited him every Sunday and, you know, tried to talk to him, make sure he was okay, get him whatever he needed. He was eating fruit and I think applesauce. He didn't really have an appetite, so he wasn't eating much. But the aftermath was rough because, again, there were side effects. And the one thing that really bothered me was that, well, two things. He wasn't eating, so he was losing weight. And obviously it was expected, but he also lost some of his hair. I remember when he first came home and got his hair cut because he had lost his hair. Again, I couldn't look at him, but I was like, how dare you make my daddy bald? But then I guess it was, I don't know, God just be doing stuff. It was like this little meme that's saying all spoiled girls got bald daddies, and I was like, hey, well, my daddy's bald now, so I guess I fit in. Because I've been spoiled, you know, obviously all my life. But he was in there for 3 weeks. 3 weeks later, he rang the bell. He came home, we nursed him back to health, got his appetite slowly but surely back on track. He was starting to get back in church, you know, doing more of the administrative stuff. And then he finally went back to preach the first Sunday in October. Yeah, what happened after that? I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone. Yeah, so he rang the bell, which was amazing. If I remember, I will put a clip of that in here.
Yeah. A whole litany of options here. Or you can ring all of them. Who cares? Yeah. Get out of here. Yeah, baby.
But yeah, he rang the bell, came home, and then they deemed him to be in remission. And then January 4th, I only noticed that that's my friend's birthday, and I went to go visit her at the cemetery that day. Me and my parents got home about around the same time, and the doctor confirmed that he was in full, complete remission. And that made me really happy because I couldn't deal. I was struggling. Even leading up to the surgery, I was struggling. I was struggling to the point where I was like, okay, I need a bonding moment with the family because I am about to lose it. So I suggested a photo shoot, which I will insert some clips so you guys can see. And it was a fun day. It was a little hot outside, but it was fun. And I was glad that we were able to do it because I don't know about the rest of them, but I needed it. I was in my head so bad losing it. I was like, Lord, I need something to ground me, something to show me that it's going to be okay, something to bring us together. And that did. But yeah, it was really hard for me to see him like that. Again, that's my hero. That's my daddy. He's invincible. Can't nothing touch him. But, you know, this did. I did eventually attend a few chemo sessions, and I was there for when he got one of his blood transfusions and his most recent biopsy. So it's not like I wasn't present. I just had to get over my fear in order to be there for him. But I did, and I'm glad that I was able to even be part of his journey. Even though that's my daddy, you know, I was still able to be a part of it. I had to learn how to be strong, not just for myself, but for him as well. So that was really interesting to see myself go through and grow through. You know, faith was tested, but I'm still here. I'm still believing in Jesus. I believe in the power of medicine and the power of prayer. So yeah. And yeah, our support system was great. I'm not going to name names because then if I forget one, I will feel bad. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who has been there, not just for my dad, but for my family. Because like I said, this affected all of us. And, you know, my mom, she had to be a caretaker. She had to help her husband, especially after seeing her mom had it. Mind you, at the same time, her stepmother also had cancer. So I know that was heavy for her. You know, my sister had just moved out, so she was like, I feel disconnected because I'm gone and you guys are all in the house. I was like, don't worry, God, I got you. Me, I had to learn how to lean on God myself and not do it through my parents. But I'm very grateful for everyone that has showed up for us, from co-workers to people from school back when I was younger to people, you know, from our old churches and just everything. I'm really grateful for that. It put a lot of things into perspective for me. And now that my dad is better, I really want to make sure that I show up for the people that have showed up for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say it's quid pro quo. Oh, you only show up if they show up. No, I just want to make sure that I'm that person to those people that were that person to me. Yeah, he's in remission. He has a good maintenance routine. Maintenance is basically just to keep it at bay so that it doesn't come back. It doesn't mean that he still has it. It means that they're working to make sure that, okay, we can combat it with this. If we do this, it won't come back. So I'm very grateful for that. I will take maintenance over him having it any day. And yeah, now we're just working on getting things back to normal. Back in the church, you know, I got a promotion. Working on getting out this house and being on my own. I'm kind of scared though, because at first, okay, I'm not blaming him and I'm not, you know, saying, but I was supposed to move out. Me and my sister had made this little pact. And of course, because she's the overachiever, she achieved it before I did. But I was like, as we were going through this, I was like, oh, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving my daddy. I need my eyes. I need to see, you know, what is going on and making sure, like, you know, he's good. If he needs something, I can get it if my mom can't. And just, yeah, I needed my eyes on him so that, you know, I can make sure, for me, I can give myself that comfort and know that everything was okay. Now that he's been in maintenance and we've been, you know, having our little bickering moment, he's like, when are you moving out? It's time for you to go. I'm better now. So, you know, that is back in progress, back in the works. I'm not going to say when it's going to happen because I really don't know when it's going to happen. But, yeah, stay tuned for that. Again, that is our story. I hope that this is the last of it as far as, you know, cancer in my family. And yeah, that's all. Can you guys see my shirt? It says FU multiple myeloma. I'm not gonna say it, but I am gonna do that because that's not as bad as saying it. So you can't yell at me, Mom. But I'm gonna stop now because I really want to edit this and get this up today on the actual day of National Multiple Myeloma Day. So yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you again to everyone for your support. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can reach out to me or leave a comment, whatever, and I will get back to you. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. And screw you, cancer.